Today we got a game from Gale Force 9. It's Homeland, the game. A game of espionage, deception, and paranoia. Suspicion is at my heart. Suspicion keeps us apart. Suspicion. It says, stay alert, be vigilant, trust no one. It looks like it went down twice. Original price $39.99. Ollie's price $5.99. But that's after they stuck another sticker on it. So I guess if something doesn't sell long enough, sits in the store, even at Ollie's, if it sits in the store long enough, they'll put a new sticker on it. I wonder how much they was trying to sell it for before they put the $5.99 sticker on it. Probably like $9.99 or something. Oh, it was also 33% off, so Yep, I was right. $9.99. Okay, so it was $9.99. Then they knocked it down by $5.99, and they were having 33% off special, so I got even cheaper than that. I don't know who any of these people are. Never seen the show because it's on cable or some crap like that. I don't get that cable stuff. So if you know who these dang people are, comment down below. Hopefully they'll tell me in the dang game somewhere, maybe. But anyway, from like previews or something that I've seen of it, they're if this is the right show I'm thinking about, they are they're people that live in the United States, and they're not really United States citizens, but they're acting like United States citizens, and they're really like spies, double agents, or whatever. I think that's the basics of the show. Or maybe some are agents. I'm not sure. There's a show I need to watch, but by the time I watch shows, they have them on DVD or whatever. Anyway, the box contains a game board, threat analysis board, 7 agenda cards, rule books, 294 cards, 18 plastic soldiers, 18 plastic agents, and 145 tokens. Stay alert, be vigilant, trust no one, Homeland the game. I guess it's a game, a show kind of like 24 was. A game of espionage, deception, and paranoia. Homeland is a semi-cooperative game of intrigue, deception, and hidden agendas. Play as a CIA analyst working to combat the rising tide of global terrorism. Stay alert. New terrorist threats are constant. Every card played matters. Any action card could be the difference between stability and catastrophe. Be vigilant. You'll have to use every tool at your disposal to stop impeding terrorist threats, deploy special forces, insert field agents, and recruit key assets to neutralize the imminent dangers and keep the nation safe. Trust no one. Not everyone is what they seem. All players are working toward their own agendas. Watch your rivals' actions carefully to try to decipher who is working against you. Any player might be a terrorist mole. Will your actions tip the balance towards national security or global chaos? Gale Force 9 Games, GF9Games.com, 20th Century Fox, Gale Force 9. Let's check it out. So the first thing we got in here are a 2014 catalog. Well, here it is 2020 almost. So this catalog just might be a little out of date. But for the fun of it, I'll probably do a video of this catalog. Again, on the sides here, we have like scenes, location scenes. That's kind of cool. They're like satellite images. It was like the CIA's base. I just like the look of the scenes. On top of all that, we have a big old, like 20-page rule booklet. Yep, 20-page rule booklet. There's a lot of pages. We'll look at that later. Then we have all these various different tokens, which have, we got some White House tokens, and we have a bunch of Eagle shield tokens. Not sure what all these tokens are for, but there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of Capitol White House tokens. Then there's a bunch of smaller shield ones, kind of like badges, like maybe CIA badges, and then there's circle ones. Then there's a whole nother set, and it's global areas. Here's like a picture of a terrorist, I guess. And there's the board. There's a threat analysis board. Plots of SAGE. Threat neutralized. Game setup. Each player receives 2 of those shields, 2 of those White House tokens, an agent and a soldier. They also get some intel cards and some case lead cards. You're supposed to create the initiative deck. Each player receives a hidden agenda, so you could be the terrorist. This is kind of neat. You get these little bitty blue figures, which represent CIA type agents, and you got these green figures, which represent soldiers. About the size of risk pieces, so kind of cool. Got these cards, intel cards, organization cards, plot cards, and other various cards. Well, there's a lot of different cards in this game. Let's look at the, oh my gosh. Wow, that's a big board. That is a big board. Each one of these spaces look like a location, and they look to me like you put cards on these various different locations. And of course, you got different levels of threats. Top are your imminent threats. You gotta take care of them. You got severe threats, you got elevated threats, and you got low threats. And you got the board. Well, it's pictures of like various different images and stuff. It's also a picture of like the board. So here are our agents, and here are our terrorists. I guess you want to keep the terrorists low and the agents high to keep the United States of America protected from the terrorists. These are kind of cool. Let's check them out. So you got these little CIA agent guys here. I don't know if y'all can see him very good, but it's basically a guy in a suit. Looks like he's on his phone. These look like Secret Service, CIA, FBI type agents. Then of course you got these little plastic miniature soldier guys. which are kind of cool. I mean, you hardly ever see games that have components like this that aren't war games. This isn't really a war game, I don't think. So it's interesting to have little miniature pieces. I think that's kind of cool. Let's look at the various different cards. First up, we're going to look at organization cards. Got organization cards. They each have a threat level. They each tell you something to do. They each have a number on them. And they each tell you what they are. We got lone wolves. Then we got radicalized local militia. Then we got sectarian insurgents. And of each kind we have a different. Then we got guerrilla dissidents. Then we got militant separatists. Got religious extremists. So these are all the various different. And then we got political splinter groups. These are all the various different terrorist organizations. They've got Abu Nazar, which I think Abu Nazar is actually a group on the show. Then we got Majid Javid, Tom Walker, Rona Hammond, and General Dakish Agbari. So then we got plot cards, which we have Impact 1 plot cards, Impact 2 plot cards, and Impact 3 cards. Which they have numbers for complexity. They have what happens if it's their fallout. They basically there's stuff for you to do. They're all different. Various different things happen. Things you gotta do. I'm suppose they show you how to do it, tell you how you're supposed to do this and the rules, I guess. Basically, various different attacks, turning people, dirty bombs, all kinds of various different things. Explosions, assassinations, bombings. Now we have, of course, the player turn order card and the terrorist turn order card. These are, each player aid card has both the player's turn and the terrorist turn on the front and back. So it's like, these are like reference cards. Then we have top secret classified's official agendas. One agenda is loyal agent, loyal agent, loyal agent, loyal agent. One is a political opportunist. Another one is a political opportunist. And then you could be the terrorist mold. So you're either doing it for politics, you're secretly a terrorist, or you're just a, loyal agent. Then we have asset cards, which these are, suppose these are people from the show, especially when they have an image of a person. They can do various different things. We have Alan Morgan, Betsy Kinney, Bo Hall, Captain Mike Fabiar, Carrie Madison, Cynthia Walden, Danny Glovis, Dar Adal, David Estes, Elizabeth Chu, Elizabeth Gaines, Jessica Brody, Judge Jeffrey Turner, Lynn Reed, Major General Tony Trujillo, Major Joy Mendez, Mansour Al-Zarina, Max, Maria Burnson, Nicholas Brody, Pittman, Prince Farid bin Abab, Peter Quinn, Saul Burnson, Scott Ryan, Senator Richard Halstead, Special Agent Hall, Stuart Strickland, Virgil, and William Walden. And they tell you that who they are. I just noticed that they tell you who they are. William Walden is the Vice President of the United States. Virgil is the independent security contractor. Stuart Strickland is the station chief. Special Agent Hall is the bureau liaison. Senator Richard Halstead is the chair of the Armed Service Committee. Scott Ryan is the military liaison. Saul Burnson is the senior analyst. Peter Quinn is an agency analyst. The Prince is a royal playboy. Pittman is an encryption expert. Nicholas Brody is a rescued POW. Maria Brinson is an international aid worker. Max is an independent security contractor. Mansour Al-Zari is a senior diplomat. Major Joy is a military intelligence. Major General is a Marine. Lynn Reed is a personal escort. Okay. Because you gotta have scandals when you're dealing with politics too, I guess. The judge is a federal judge, of course. Jessica Brody is the congressman's wife. Elizabeth Gaines is a affluent politico. So she's one of those politics that's behind the scenes that donates money and stuff like that. Then we got Elizabeth Chu, agency analyst. We got David Estes, which is the agency director. Dar Adal, which is block ops director. Danny Gloves, agency analyst. And we have Cynthia Walden, which is the second lady. The wife of the vice president, not the first lady. The first lady is the wife of the president. Carrie Matheson, agency analyst. Captain Mike Fabio, he's a Marine. Bud Hall's agency analyst. Betsy Kenny is Republican Brady's chief of staff. Representative Brody's chief of staff. And then we have Alan Morgan, which is a terrorist sympathizer. So, and they each are worth various VP or victory points. Then we have these case lead cards for each color of each player. They have their own color set of cards. They all look the same on the front and back. There's nothing different about them. They're just say case lead on one side and nothing on the other side. Each player gets their own color, I guess, of those. Then we have intelligence. Which have numbers. We got stuff like, we got red intelligence, we got yellow intelligence, and we got blue intelligence. We got people like sleepers, covert cells, jihads, crooked intel, agent rosters leaks. They each have little symbols on them. Suicide bombings, blown your cover, compromised intel, dangerous rabbit hole, security breach, evasive ploy, media intention, misleading subterfuge, all target secured, threat is neutralized, discard all deployed agents, add 2 random intel cards, Case lead. All players' exposure +1 impact to threat. Exposure. Case lead. Immediately reveal 1 new threat. Then we got like stuff like anonymous tips, cell phone records, full background checks, forensic data analysts, interagency cooperation, search warrants, warrantless wiretaps, unconstitutional, embedded operatives, harsh interrogation, unconstitutional, intercepted intel, redemption flight, high value target sanction, insurrection, and defector. Of course, you got all these Capitol, White House, Congress, Senator building tokens. And you got one big terrorist looking one and a bunch of little smaller ones of these. Then for some reason we have circle ones and like shield badge looking ones of these with the eagle on them and 3 stars. And everything seems to fit in the different locations. And finally, we get to the rules. Stay alert, be vigilant, trust no one. Homeland, the game. Game of espionage, deception, and paranoia. Rulebook. Homeland, the game. Terrorist threats against the United States are omnipresent and unrelenting. Despite the vast resources of the United States government, the world is filled with organizations planning to bring down the United States to their knees. And maybe the United States needs to be brought down to its knees. Who knows? Anyway, Homeland is a game of intrigue and deception. Each player takes the role of a CIA analyst with a hidden agenda. It is up to you to figure out your rival's goals and secure your own victory. To come out ahead, you must pay careful attention to every action, even those shrouded in secrecy. Every card played and every action taken may give you insight into your rival's motives and goals. Winning the game. In Homeland, each player is working towards their own agenda and has their own way of accumulating victory points. At the end of the game, the player with the most victory points wins unless the game ends with a terrorist victory first. Hidden information and note on gameplay. In Homeland, some information is not publicly known. At various times in the rules, cards may be hidden. Hidden cards are just that. No player should see a hidden card. Sometimes a special rule or ability may give you a chance to look at a hidden card. It is up to you to decide how much of that information to share, but don't show anyone that actual card. Sometimes the rules direct you to burn cards, removing the cards from play. When you burn a hidden card, do not reveal the card. The game components. We have already looked at all of that. The game board. We have looked at it. Got threat levels. You got progress tokens. And here is an anatomy of a threat. Here is the terrorist threats. How that works. Then we got Tradecraft. We got card decks, plot cards, complexity, burning cards, excuse me, impact, Fallout and global fallout, organization cards, intel threat level, sophistication, advantage. We got intel cards. There are 3 types of intel cards. There are blue, red, and gold. We got the blue agency intel cards, red terrorist intel cards, and gold situation intel cards. There was a tip for the terrorist game setup. Create the initiative deck, agendas, dealing out agendas. Don't let anybody know what your agenda is. That is very important. Number of players. If it's 3, 2 loyal agents, 1 political opportunist, 1 terrorist, 4, 3, 1, 1, 5, 3, 2, 1, 6, 4, 2, 1. Loyal agents. Tip for the loyal agents. Political opportunists. Tip for the political opportunists. Terrorist mole. Classified. Tip for the terrorist mole. Gameplay. Each game of Homeland consists of a number of game rounds. Okay, game rounds. Example. Notes. Terrorist turn. Move the terrorist marker. Analyze imminent threats. Analyzing a threat. Compare red and blue totals. The threat analyst card, which is this. And here is how to use it. Successful plots. Red is greater than or equal to blue. Neutralize threats. Blue is greater than red. Gold intel cards. Terrorist turn continued. Special fallout rules. Burn an asset. Exposure. Official reprimand. Threats advance. Reveal new threats. Ending the terrorist's turn. Advancing the threats. An example of how to do that. Player's turns. After terrorist's turn, each player does their turn. Player turn summary. Unclaimed threats. Required action. Claim case lead on a threat. Play intel cards to cases. Example notes. First turn protocol. Playing intel cards simultaneously. Optional actions. Exchange the intel card for tokens. Recruit 1 agent, soldier, or asset. Recruiting an agent. Recruiting a soldier. Recruiting an asset. Choosing your asset. Player's turn continue. Deploy your soldiers. Reconning a threat. Deploy your agents. Activate your assets. Utilize your assets. Burn 2 abilities. Drone strike special ability. Ending your turn. Increasing minimum hand size. Ending a game round. Winning the game. Ending the game. Terrorist victory. So the terrorists can win. Agency victory. Accusations. Points, I guess. Tally victory points. Trust no one. Tied victory points. Game etiquette. Asset discussion. The assets are Nicholas Brady. Here's what he allows you to do. Then you have Elizabeth Gaines. This is what. So basically, this clarifies each asset card a little better. Jessica Brody. Carrie Matheson. Virgil. Peter Quinn. Even though there's more than 6, or more than 6, I think there's more assets than that. I don't know why it only shows you a certain amount, but I care. There's the back of the credits. Game design is Sean Striger, Aaron Deal. Graphic design, Katie Dillon. 3D design, Charles Woods. Credits, design director, John Kowalski. Producer, Peter Samovic. John Paul Brzgotti. Acknowledgements, 20th Century Fox, Judy Hogg, and Mary Romeo. Playtesters were Jason Bayanki, Cheryl Delaney, Jason Delaney, Mark Honeycutt, Sally Honeycutt, Leonard Landry, Stuart Lapwood, Jeff Lindsay, Ray O'Connor, Phil Petray, Peter Pierscup, Tim Voja, Lizzie Wogman, and thanks to all the Battlefront staff for their contributions to copyright 2015 Gale Force 9 games. So that's basically it. Seriously, everything fits. Like, smack back into the box. Even the little ad fits, which we will scan through it. They got Sons of Anarchy, Men of Mayhem, and some expansion packs to Sons of Anarchy. Got Firefly the game. I have that. I believe I've done a video of it. Blue Sun. I don't have that expansion. I don't have the Pirates and Bounty Hunters expansion. They have Spartacus game. Don't have it. And they got some expansions to it. That's basically it of the Gale Force 9 games fall 2014 catalog. I will do a shorter video just of this. Here's coming soon. They got a Black Sails game, Family Guy game. That's been Gale Force 9. Remember, God's good all the time. All the time, God's good. Keep on gaming. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Jesus loves you.